So I watched the first half hour of the first episode of Being Bobby Brown, and it's actually a really sweet show. And since so many people on it have passed on, it doesn't feel right to make fun of. So let's get back to Housewives of Atlanta. So we open with Kenya stopping by Lawrence's salon. Did he ever get his license? Oh, and Marlo's in the chair. So she goes over the pillow talk fight. So Kenya tells her Nene also is pissed with me, and Marlo said, well, she got really mad at me with the wedding, but we were able to get through it. So Kenya lets Marlo know she's doing a masquerade ball in Buckhead. And this is when Kenya says, I'm going to raise money to benefit Nene's charity to force forgiveness. Nene ain't having it. Across town, we have Portia's singing audition for A Mother's Love. This is when her eye was on the sparrow, but her voice was off the key. So Nene, after that, Kenya uses Cynthia's space to interview some bachelors for this party, and she starts kissing up to her since Nene, and she starts kissing up to Cynthia since Nene ain't having it. But now all the girls meet for roller skating. Candy tells Portia she got a part in the play. However, Nene is a no-show. So now Karma and Candy get together, and Karma tells her, look, I found out who was actually talking about me. It was Benny's girlfriend running and telling Heifer Joyce that. So I call her and let her know that it wasn't appropriate to lie on me to Heifer Joyce. And Heifer Joyce calls me and says, Karma, you put a hand on that girl and I'll drag you down the street like a rag. You old low-down heifer. So then Carmen says, and you know your mama was going to pay Benny to set Todd up. Meanwhile, across town, Cynthia asks Nene if she's going to Kenya's ball. Nene said, I never got an invitation. So Nene's like, oh, you gonna honor me just to get me there? Nah, heifer, I ain't playing it. So now Candy got to sit down and tell Todd the truth. So Carmen and Todd both are like, Candy, your mama got you messed up in the head. She can't treat people like this. Todd said, I can't stick around if you ain't gonna stick up for me. Todd said, you gotta go to counseling, babe, so you can see how abnormal this is. So it's the day of the party and Kenya still hasn't heard from Nene. Why didn't you call her yourself? So Cynthia tells Kenya, you ain't invite Nene. And also, Nene gets a lot of evites, Kenya, so she might have skipped yours. I know I would have. You too stingy with the food. So Cynthia done browbeat Nene into showing up. Kenya thinks she gonna show Atlanta how good of a friend she is. No, you ain't, heifer. You ain't done that in all the years you've been on the show. Kenya asks Cynthia where Nene she wanna get things started. And Kenya's saying this is going to benefit so many young girls. But here comes the moose. So Nene gets there and then makes sure to snub Kenya. So the first thing Nene does is make sure she snubs Kenya. And again, I would too. So Kenya gets up and gives her speech about the charity being so close to Nene's heart, and then hands the mic to Nene herself. Nene gets up there and delivers her infamous line. It's amazing how many good friends I have and don't know it. But shout out to Saving Our Daughters, one of the many charities I work with. One of the many. And they hand the mic right back. Kenya said, you made me and yourself look bad. Well, the wig did that. But then Peter tells Cynthia he ready to go. So everybody go to leave the party. However, Peter wanted to leave because of what Nene did. Penelope Thomas. This is why you got called a bitch and you stay in women's business. So then Peter starts chastising Nene for having a funky attitude. But I get it. Nene's like, you ain't gonna use a charity to try to chump me into being your friend. So Nene irritated that Peter's trying to put it on her. And Greg says, yeah, Peter, you are placing blame. And if you so concerned about the charity, go in and give some money that you don't have. So that was the shit. Everybody go home, and I'm going to see you for the next episode. So the episode opens with Nene and Greg going over the event. And I agree with Nene. You were bullied into going because it was honoring you. Over with Cynthia, she's filling in Mal on what happened and how Penelope Thomas stuck her nose in. Greg thinks Peter was getting way out of line, and Nene calls it bitch-assness. However, they're going to Peter's birthday party tomorrow. Nene gonna go because she still want to keep it cute with Cynthia. But now Peter and Cynthia got into it because Peter had to stick his nose in. But Cynthia, you need to be grateful that she's giving you a plot line. And by she, I mean Penelope. But after this, we have Kenya being friends with Marlo and they're going to lunch. My God, how times changed. So Kenya tells her about her amazing ball. Child, it was a regular little event. But Kenya gotta go over how Nene walked in like Zoolander. I think that was just bad Botox and a new nose. Kenya, Nene did want to beat you up and she was hostile because you tried to manipulate her. You don't respond well to manipulele. So we getting ready for Peter's party. So Candy, Portia, and Lauren are the first to show up to the party and Cynthia fills them in on how Penelope and Nene got into it. Candy said, look, Kenya, you was trying to kiss Nene's ass and she didn't want her ass kissed that day. Pucker up again sometime, toots. But now Kenya, Nene, and Greg get here. Oh, but then Marlo walk up to Nene. I feel like you're treating me like an outcast. What's up, big sis? I didn't think I'd get to do my Marlo Amos voice again, but here we are. So Marlo tries to soften Nene up for this get-together with Kenya. But now Kenya walk up and said, could you excuse us? I'd like to talk to Nene. You let Nene come to you. So Nene said, look, if you wanted to honor me, you should have called me and you didn't. Nene is still on Kenya about that pillow talk, and I'm sorry. You need to put some of that blame on Apollo and Peter. And also on Chris for grabbing Kenya's arm. Yes, Kenya got out her seat, but child, nobody's gonna let somebody walk up on their significant other. So Kenya apologizes and Nene barely accepts. But now Nene's giving Marlo the cold shoulder. So now Nene mad that Marlo and Kenya acting like BFF. So Nene's out yet again. The next day, Nene drops by Portia's. So Portia drops by Nene's and tells her, you know, I kind of made up with Kenya, but I'm still irritated. Lawrence drops by Kenya's. She said, I'm going to take the girls to Mexico to make up for the pillow talk debacle. Oh, she invites Lawrence because she needs backup, and I guess Brandon's no longer allowed to film in her red Victoria's Secret Jam. Poor Brandon, coming on this show as a purse gay and ending up getting manhandled by Apollo, and not even a good gasm to show for it. But now we have the Bailey Bowl. Nene rolls in with Minicue and Greg, ready to lose. I think it was smart of Cynthia to have all the heifers have their own teams. Charles, Candy show up with an Olympian ready to win, like she gonna take the gold. I wish you could win an award for cleanest restaurant in Atlanta. That's what I wish you could win, rather than the Bailey Bowl. Win cleanest floor. Win least standing water. Try that. Win with that. You could put together a team with Olympians for a fake field day. But you can't get that water off the floor. To what end? To what end? I'm going to start saying that more because it's always in my head. Why would Xi Jinping try to flood my basement and rust my Bowflex? To what end? To what end? So now Marlo comes in and she's on Kenya's team and she starts antagonizing Nene. Nene starts running away. And Nene wants to say the referees need to stop being queens. Well, you need to stop being a moose. You're on a show called Real Housewives and you got hooves on. Hooves! Hooves! And antlers. You are showing your asinine antler on these episodes, but you want to talk about a sissy being a queen. When your antlers are askew, no ma'am. No ma'am. You got on your Frederick Douglass wig. That Freddie Doug. But you want to worry about a ref being a queen? Not in that wig. Not in that Trump special. I ain't gonna hear it. Your nose hasn't even unswole from the surgery. You need to worry about you, boo-boo. Candy saying, y'all cheated. Y'all cheated. You ain't playing by the rules. Girl, Ain't nobody really winning or losing anyway, well, except for Nene in this episode, losing her cool, throwing water bottles at Marlo. But then, when Marlo go and run and jump on Nene, and Nene goes, Kenya said, oh no, Nene, why are you being so petty? And grabs Marlo and goes to thrust her on her yet again. Child Nene and Greg sashay away. But Marlo, why are you so mad that Nene don't want to talk to you now that you're getting camera time with Kenya? You knew the game, heifer, and you've been trying to play for years. But we see where kissing Kenya's ass got you. No damn where. This was the only time we see Marlo and Kenya running around holding hands. Tell the whole Atlanta why you're not talking to me, Nene Leaks. I'm a good friend. I'm a good friend. Oh, Marlo Amos. I mean, they running after Nene hot on a heel. She may not have the money. Hey, she may not have the money. She may be doing the best that she could. We don't know the situation. Don't go off on her. Nene drive off and Marlo doing this fake cry. Yeah, hiding your face with that dry... Stop that dry cry. Dry cry. Can't even look at the camera. Cynthia upset her event went bust again, but what'd you expect? All right, well, that was the shit. Let's get to the next one. So we open the episode with Nene and Cynthia going shopping for Mexico. However, Cynthia tries to bring up how Nene and Marlo acted a fool, and Nene said, I'm not talking about Marlo, I'm leaving. I'm gonna give you this right here. The Sheree. And Bravo gave Sheree the this year. Across town, Marlo drops by Kenya's. And Kenya wants Marlo and Nene to mend their friendship because it's on the rocks. You're about to hit those same rocks, heifer. Just you wait. Watching Marlo pretend to be upset about this friendship with Nene, child, I can't. Best fiend, baby. Best fiend. And then Marlo gonna act like she wasn't trying to antagonize Nene and get a rise out of her. Girl, boom. But then they go into how Nene thought she was going to be a big star and leave Housewives of Atlanta. And she pissed that she back. And that is the truth. This is sadly the beginning of Nene's downfall, because if Hollywood hadn't hung up the phone so hard on her, where it left her ringing in her ear like an old switchboard joker, it was that clang hang up. Not like today's hang up where you can't even slam your cell phone shut. That hard hang up where you could hurt somebody's ear. That's how hard Hollywood hung up the phone on Nene. And I still want to know why. Just because Ryan Murphy ain't working with you no more, there are other directors. Why didn't the Tyler Perry call? You already had the wigs. You already had the wigs from the prop department. Why ain't Tyler Perry called? That's his audience. Nene wouldn't even have to act. Just put her on stage, let her ad-lib, like Atlanta. Meanwhile, Peter goes to visit Cordelia Stewart to get the skinny on the divorce. Well, ain't nothing skinny with thick Cordelia. However, Cordelia tells Penelope, look, I came home and found her mama eating a large pepperoni pizza on my bed, and I was like, So Cordelia says, look, I tried, didn't work, I'm at peace in my heart. And peace in your pussy. Over with Kenya and Lawrence, they get to the resort in Mexico a day early to set up for the girls. Well, the heifers. They ain't been girls in a minute. Back in America, Nene whining, the girls always have a problem getting places on time. If the airplane hasn't left, they're on time. It is sad Kenya has never had a man accompany her on a couple's trip. Ever. Wait, no, I mean Walter did, that's right. Well, does Walter count? She never had a man that loved her accompany her on a couple's trip. She never got no dick on a couple's trip. Child, no dick, you may as well stay home. Penelope Thomas Bailey. God, can you get some business? He told Portia, I had to go talk to your ex-husband. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You could have minded your business. Where'd that bird go? I saw a bird like flying along the tree line and it just didn't keep going. That was weird. I guess it turned, but it turned right in front of the house. Cynthia's like, we're on vacation. Why is he bringing this up? Because he's a bitch. He's a bitch. A weak, broke bitch who fiends for the spotlight. So everybody gets to the resort now except Phaedra and Apollo. Portia said, hold on, you brought Lawrence and not your African prince? Good point. So everybody's got nice rooms on this trip. Cynthia, however, drops by Portia's room to make sure they're good after Penelope's Budinsky incident. Cynthia get Portia real good. She said, Cordell's gonna come here to meet you so you won't be alone for the trip. She bought it for a second. So we all head to dinner on the first night. And now Greg trying to browbeat Portia back into that union with Booty Toot Stewart. Sorry, Greg, you was wrong on this one. She didn't outrun a blessing, she outran a sissy. Portia says, look, Cordelia wasn't paying them bills, so I had to get a job. Then he got mad I wouldn't stay home for $2. Now Peter gonna perk up. Well, Cordelia said what he signed up for. Don't nobody care. Portia said, now look, Cordelia's celebrity was tainted. Tainted with tooting. Tainted with tooting. Oh my God, I need to find that video and get his toot in time to the music with, I am a nasty girl, are you a nasty girl? Is somebody gonna match your booty? Is somebody gonna match your tootie? Now Portia said, I'm not trying to be messy when Kenya and Peter are like, wait, what? You sound like a PR campaign. And Kenya, right, you sound like you signed to be a beard. You sound like you wanted to be a beard. Like you had a beard master plan. However, Phaedra gonna say, now Kenya, you want to talk about beards. You'd wear a beard, a goatee, hair on your legs, anything to get a man. But Portia said, oh my God, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah, yes it is. It's exactly what you said. I had it on closed caption. So now Portia tried to backpedal and everybody kind of like, girl, you stepped in it. You told the truth. We was listening. But child, that was the shit. We ended. We gonna have some fun the next day and I'm gonna see you soon for something. Maybe Scandal.